In this video, I'm going to show you how to safely pop your knee joint. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over 3 easy ways to safely crack, pop, or release, whatever you want to call it, your knee joint. A note about these exercises, each one works just a little bit differently. To get the best results, go through them all, use what works best for you. Also, these are not chiropractic adjustments. They don't serve to replace chiropractic adjustments. Instead, they're simple mobility exercises that may end in a satisfying self-pop, crack, or release. Also, none of these exercises are designed for anything more than just simple aches for the knee, so they are not meant for major injuries like ligament tears. If that's the case, go consult with your local doctor instead. With that being said, let's get started. With this exercise, we're going to start in a lunge position with both knees bent roughly at 90 degrees. The knee that we're looking to self-pop, crack, or release will be the one that is in front. With the back knee, I would place a pillow or towel underneath it for extra comfort. So let's break this down step by step, make it easy to do. With this front leg, we're going to have it straight out in front of us, and you want your foot in line with your knee. So when you look down, it should be nice and straight. From there, what we're going to do is just lunge forward really slowly, placing all of our body weight onto our toes and the ball of this front foot. So what I'd like to do is curl my toes into the floor, place all of my body weight into the ball of the foot, and my heel will just lift up slightly at this point. At this point too, you should feel some good tension being built into the knee. During this exercise, it's all about building initial tension in the knee. So what we want to do is keep lunging into this more and more until we feel that it gets to a point where if I went any further with it, it would finally pop. If you don't feel a lot of tension with this, all you have to do is slide your heel back towards you, because the more that you bring your heel towards you, the more tension is going to be built in the knee. So get right up to that point. Once you feel that, you're then going to take your hands, overlap them, place them right on the top of the knee, and you want to gently press your knee downward so more weight is placed on the ball of your foot. So it kind of creates like a stable anchor point. At this point, we have a lot of tension being built into the knee, and what we're going to do to finally get it to release is a quick lunge forward like this. So just passively lunge forward, and at that point, you're going to feel a deep opening stretch right in your knee. And if it is locked up, you might get that sudden pop, crack, or release. When I do this though, it usually will take about 5 to 10 times. And with each repetition, I just try to lunge into it just a little bit more. If this is causing any pain or discomfort though, please discontinue immediately. So if it finally pops, you're good to go. But if it feels like there's still a little bit left in there or it didn't release, you can throw a couple more movements in there to help open up the knee just a little bit differently. So this time around, let's turn our foot inward as much as we can. You should feel a deep stretch forming on the outside of your calf right here that goes right up here to the knee. Once you feel that, what you're then going to do is turn the foot in just a little bit more and then lunge your knees straight forward. So we're not trying to lunge our knee in line with our foot, we're still going forward with our body weight. This time around, actually, I don't know if you just heard it right there, my knee just popped, but you should feel it a little bit more on the outside of the knee, so give that one a try. You can also turn your foot outward like this, again, just pointing your knee straight, passively stretching into it. So give that a try. I really do hope it helps. So another movement that you can do are called knee circles, and this one is really good at finding movements that have the most amount of tension in it and also helps with a popping or clicking knee. So what I'm going to do is lunge forward with that original stretch, but this time around I'm going to do a big wide circle with my knee. So just trace a big wide circle with your kneecap right here. I like to do this 5 times in one direction, so I'm going counterclockwise with it, and then I switch it up and then go clockwise and then repeat. Again, as you do this, you're going to find that one certain spot just feels like it has the most amount of tension built up. Like when I go towards the left right here, at that point, keep building into that movement over and over again until you finally feel it release, or that clicking or popping sound goes away. This exercise I joke and call the Nutcracker. You can do this one in bed or on a floor. Just lie flat on your back like this. What we're going to need is a small rolled up towel. Start small with this one, like a hand drying towel or a dishwashing towel. Do not use a large beach towel, it'll be too big. So what I'm going to do is place the towel right behind the knee that I'm looking to self-pop or release. Just wedge it right on the back of the knee so it's nice and tight. And then you're going to lower your butt, or I should say your heel, towards your butt to clamp down on that towel. So imagine that your leg right here is a nutcracker and the towel is a walnut. What we want to do is focus on trying to crack that nut by just bringing our heel towards our butt. So just grab right on your shin and bring it down. Build into this one slowly because you're going to feel a really deep opening traction or stretch form in the knee. And if it is locked up, you might get that satisfying self-pop, crack, or release. But don't try to force it. And if it does feel like it's causing any pain or discomfort, please discontinue immediately. But I like to hold this one for about a second or two and then I release it. And then I repeat this about 5 to 10 times. It may take several repetitions for it to finally release, but with each repetition, just try to build into it a little bit more. So if it feels like it needs a little bit more and you want to take this one to the next level, what you can do is passively pull your heel towards your butt until it feels like there's a lot of built up initial tension, to the point where it feels like if you went a little bit further, it would pop. Let's hold that and now passively and quickly pull our heel towards our butt just a little bit more. That will just offer that deeper stretch and you may finally feel it finally release. So give that a try for a couple repetitions, build into it slowly. So a couple movements that you can do with your foot to open up the knee just a little bit differently is by doing this. Take your foot, turn it inward as much as you can, and then repeat. When I do this, I usually feel it a little bit more on the outside of the knee. You can also turn your foot outward like this and repeat. If any of those positions finally get it to release, just remember that position the next time you do this exercise. So if it doesn't feel like this towel is offering a big enough wedge, like not a deep enough stretch, what you want to do at that point is just grab a larger towel, one that's slightly larger, because the larger the towel, the more it's going to create that wedge, the deeper stretch you'll get. So for this exercise, we're going to need a flat elevated surface, one that is sturdy enough to support our body weight. The edge of a bed works perfectly. Depending on your height level though, you may be able to use a coffee table, sturdy desk, something like that. So to get into position, what I'm going to do is place the knee that I'm looking to self-pop, crack, or release right up on the edge of the flat surface like this. The foot is just going to be off. And I like to hook my ankle right here, right into the edge to make sure that nothing slips, it's nice and sturdy. And you also want your legs straight out in front of you. So there's two different ways to do this exercise. The first one involves your hand, the next involves a rolled up towel. So I would grab a small hand drying towel, roll it up, place it off to your side for the second part. So what I'm going to do first is take my hand right here and I'm going to wedge it right in the back of my knee. So palm facing towards the ceiling, just shove your hand right here in the back of your knee and make sure to keep contact with it during this exercise. Your thumb right here just goes right off to the side of the knee. You're then going to get back into position with this back leg, put it out a little bit and then bend that knee. From here, what we're going to do is just squat our butt down towards our heel very slowly. Build into this one slowly, no sudden movements. The more that you go down, the more that you're going to feel a deep opening traction, like a deep opening stretch right here in the knee. And if it is locked up, you might get that sudden pop, crack, or release that you're looking for, and you are good to go. But what I like to do is hold this for a couple seconds and then release. On the next repetition, I build into it just a little bit more by taking my butt further towards my heel. Keep doing this over and over again. For me, it usually takes several repetitions, like 5 to 10, before I finally feel it release. But just remember, if you are experiencing any pain or discomfort while doing this, please discontinue immediately. So if it doesn't feel like it wants to release, this is how you can take it to the next level. Let's build back into that original stretch and try to build as much initial tension as possible in this knee, almost to the point where if you went a little bit further with it, it would feel like it would pop or crack. Hold that and now quickly passively take your butt down towards your heel. So just squat down really quickly like this. You don't need to go down that far, just a little bit. What you're going to notice is it puts a really deep, quick stretch into the knee, and it may finally get it to release. But again, don't try to force this one. Just a nice deep stretch is all we're looking for. A couple more movements that you can do are turning your foot inward like this until the point where you feel a really good stretch form on the outside of your knee, and then repeating that. It just opens it up a little bit differently. So give that a try, turning your foot inward and then also outward. If those help out a little bit more, just remember that. On the next time you do it, put your foot in that position and then give it a go. So for a lot of people, your hand really won't offer enough traction. It won't be a big enough wedge. So what you can do instead is use a towel. The larger the towel that you use, the larger the wedge, which means the deeper the stretch. I recommend using something small. Hand drying towel, do not go for a bath or a beach towel to begin with. If you need something like that, build into it, but always go small, then go larger. So let's roll up our towel and place it right on the back of our knee. Really focus on wedging it in there as much as possible. And at that point, you're just going to repeat this exercise. But again, you're just going to notice that this towel offers just a little bit deeper of a stretch. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.